Okay, guys, thank you so much for coming back. How's everyone doing today? I hope you're having an amazing day, and I'm going to do everything within my modest capacity to make it ever so slightly better. Thank you again for coming. Lesson number 7, you're doing incredibly well. Just keep going. But traditionally, before we go there, the quick recap of the last two lessons, the fifth and sixth lessons, respectively, were talking about the belief systems and the disempowering belief systems. We were using the very crude analogy of comparing a human being to a computer. The belief system is everything, all the preconceived notions, all the ideas, all the ideologies, all the ideas, memes, themes, tropes, everything that we choose to believe is true or probable. These are the memes. So essentially what we were doing, we were comparing human being to a machine, and we were saying that body is a hardware, your mental state and your intellect, that's the software, and then the access to the internet, to AI, to the open source, to all the apps, myriads of apps and free learning and free teaching available to you at your fingertips. All of that is the super consciousness equivalent. We were using that as an analogy because we wanted to tell ourselves that it's within our discretion to change them as we see fit. And in the sixth lesson, we were focusing about the concept of having the negative, disempowering belief systems, like the belief systems that the money is the root of all evil. This is the disempowering belief system, and we were dismantling it by presenting the opposite belief systems, and we were giving the logical and emotional arguments for it. So essentially, we were saying to ourselves that this is all BS, this is all belief systems, and the only negative belief system is a belief in negative belief systems, because we have established that every challenge, including the so-called negative belief systems, can be overcome with knowledge, skill set, and the right people. The second belief systems that we were allowing ourselves to entertain as a possibility was, of course, the lesson of adaptability. Be like water, Bruce Lee, that you can choose whatever belief system is out there on the free market of ideas. So don't be attached to your belief systems. They are not good belief systems, they are not bad belief systems, they're just belief systems that will get you closer or further away from your goals. And lastly, humility. There is someone out there that knows better than I and about this particular subject matter. I might be wrong in this particular instance. Reality is under no obligation whatsoever to comply to my expectations and my preconceived notions, aka belief systems. So if we have those three, then the negative belief systems will not matter. We have established that the most important thing that matters is not how is whom we're taking with us on that journey. So the people are actually much more important than the belief systems, because the belief systems will change in terms of numerical values, and we'll be talking about values in the next lesson. They can be good today, they can become bad tomorrow, and vice versa. We're not attached to belief systems. They're just that, they're just tools to help us get where we need to go. The most important focus on our journey is, as always has been, or it should have been, the people. That's the most important part. So today we're going to be discussing the BOS script, which is the BOS script is the base operating system. So once again, going back to that very crude analogy. Oh, before we go there, let's very quickly talk about the memes, and in particular let's use the reference of the meme that, if you were kind enough to appreciate the artwork that we have co-created for you guys, the artwork for the sixth lesson, where you have had the nice symmetry. It was essentially a yin yang. You have had the negative belief system, so there was a collapse of the economy. There was a positive belief systems, which was a meme of a mountain. And then there's, like with the great memes are storylines, memes are narratives, memes are messages, tropes, themes. You are making a narrative, you are sending a message, and you are using the visual format. Or when, as you start becoming more and more proficient in co-creating content, they will become movies, and you will add to the visuals the sound effects and dialogues. But all in good time. Please be patient, be kind, be loving. You're doing fine. But essentially, the meme within the meme, on the right hand side, you have had a mountain, and you have three memes here. One meme is that you have had the emojis representing the people. That's your team and the wonderful people who will be consuming your content, who will be buying your products and services. So it's not, don't ask how, ask who else is coming. That's the meme. The people. The second meme is that there's a chalice at the apex of the pyramid. That chalice represents the golden knowledge. So it's about the consciousness expansion. It's about the learning curve. That's the second meme. The game of life is the game of learning. And the third meme is, of course, overcoming challenges. That the mountain is a challenge. That every time you have a challenge in your life, whether it's personal life or business life, it's a knowledge, it's a skill set, or it's the people. Or if you cannot get the knowledge and develop the skill set, there's someone who has overcome that challenge already. So nothing that life throws at us, we will be able to overcome. Absolutely everything, as long as we connect ourselves with the right people. But connecting with the right people, that's the lesson number 7, the BOS script. BOS script spelled BOS, Bravo Oscar Sierra script. So the BOS script stands for base operating system. And the base operating system is the equivalent of our software installed in our mentality. And that software has been installed by our parents, our peer groups, our teachers, our friends, our families. These are the belief systems that have been installed to us during the normalization period, during the socialization period of a child, of a growing up. These are not belief systems that we have decided. You are the reflection of your cultural zeitgeist. You are a reflection of the beautiful people who have invested so much time and effort for you to be here. We send them love, we send them thanks, but now we'll be analyzing the BOS scripts, and we'll be telling ourselves that, hey, if there's anything that maybe could be better, we will be making a decision whether we want to change it or not. But BOS script is essentially a software of all belief systems. So just like you have the software in computers or smartphones, you have Microsoft Windows, you have iOS, you have Android being the main ones. This is essentially a coding language that your hardware, aka your mobile phone, your laptop, your iPad, your iMac, whatever hardware you're using, that's how it communicates with the internet, with AI, with other apps. This is how it translates, whether it's usable for us or not. And this is why BOS scripts are so important, because essentially they will predetermine which apps we can download, which belief systems we can integrate. So let's give a quick definition. Essentially, let's give a quick disclaimer first. Like this, the 3 BOS scripts that we'll be discussing, they are misnomers. They are not universally accepted by the scientific community, and they don't have to be, because once again, these are just definitions. These are just BS belief systems. They are subject to change. We will not attach to them. If you have better definition, please use it. It is your game of life. You are the programmer of your destiny. I'm just expanding your frame of reference, but by and large, there will be 3 main BOS scripts that you're going to encounter throughout your lifetime. The base operating systems of every single human being will fall into one of those 3 categories. So these are just tools. This is just a helpful hand. These are just misnomers. They are not set in stone. They are not really accepted by the scientific community per se. But the 3 main BOS scripts that we're going to be working with are, and we've used them already, for astute students, they will recognize them straight away: the humanists, the religionists, and metaphysicists. Now, the humanists are the people who believe in science. They believe in those religions like physics or mathematics. And why am I gently teasing the scientific community? Because many of those belief systems, yes, they are belief systems, those different branches of science, much of it, if you ask the scientific community that yes, no, JP, you are so wrong, no, this is objective reality, this is not subjective. Trust me, once you get to know it, once you get into the nitty-gritty, particularly the social sciences, you shall find out that much of it is dogma. much of it is orthodoxy, much of it is belief systems. So there's very few which is based on empiricism, and it's based on peer review. But that's another story altogether, and we can do a completely separate video on just that. But this is how people attached they are to their belief systems. So let's expand our frame of reference and let's use the definitions which by comparison are used by the scientific community. So instead of calling them BOS scripts, the terminology that they are using, there are two. There's a cognitive bias and they also use the confirmation bias, which is like a belief system without the BOS script. So it's the part of the software of your belief. So the cognitive bias is essentially the matrix. It's the perception of reality instead of reality itself. Steve Jobs used to call it the reality distortion field. These are your glasses that you always wearing on nanosecond basis, and everywhere you go you perceive reality through the perception of your cognitive bias, the what's already inside, what you choose to believe is true, what you desire to realize itself, what you desire to be true. This is what predetermines the confirmation bias, the second part of the BOS script, which is essentially the filter, how you're going to perceive the things. So for example, if you have learned about the law of attraction and you've learned that you can use your mind to manifest events, the scientists will call it confirmation bias, because you're going to say to yourself, let's say, I want to see the black Mercedes, I want to manifest the black Mercedes, and then suddenly you start seeing black Mercedes everywhere. But the scientists will tell you that that's a confirmation bias. This is the way that your brain suddenly focuses on what it wants to focus on, and it sees something that reinforces the preconceived notions, reinforces the belief systems that is already there. You choose to believe now that you have the power to control your mind to such a degree that you manifest reality, and that's why you are viewing reality through your reality distortion field, through your cognitive bias, through the matrix of your perception, and you are mistaking that matrix for objective reality, and everyone does that, including the scientists. Now we're going to be talking about the law of attraction, we're going to be talking about the matrix and the metaphysics of manifestation, all in good time. But remember, we're not saying it's true, we're not saying it's not true, it's just the BS. Is it getting me closer to the chalice of knowledge? Is it helping me overcome my challenges? Am I maxing out my happiness, my trust, and my freedom indices? These are the only things that matter to us. Are you getting closer or further away to your goals? That's it. We don't get attached and we don't get stuck with whether it's true or not per se. So this is the humanism. The humanism is essentially the belief in sciences. The second BOS script is the religionists. There's over 170,000 religions on the planet Earth. Many of those religions, once again, many scientists are struggling with differentiating between philosophies and religions. Many of the belief systems will fall / BOS scripts will fall into both categories, like Taoism or Confucianism, or some branches of Buddhism, for example. You can classify them as religions, you can classify them as universal philosophies. The classification is fluid because, once again, depends on your BOS script and depends on your belief systems. Much of it is just preferential, even though many of our brothers and sisters from the scientific community would love to convince us otherwise. But essentially, there are hundreds of thousands of religious belief systems, and these are the BOS scripts for billions of our fellow human beings around the globe. God bless them. Now, last but not least, is the metaphysicists. These are the people who usually refer to themselves as the spiritual people. You might say that the people from the first section, the humanists, oftentimes they do not have the concept of God or divinity, whereas the other BOS scripts do have a concept of divinity or God, but they define it differently. Whereas the religious people, depending how much they are, their BOS script is on the trust index, depending how much they trust that their script is the objective reality. Once again, reality distortion field. Depending from the trust index, they will tell you that no, this is the objective reality, this is immutable, this is absolute truth, this is what it is. You just don't understand. Whereas the metaphysicists have greater adaptability index. Metaphysicists are divinity minus dogma. They don't attach, they don't say that, hey, this is the objective reality. They will be more in line with the higher realms of consciousness. very great generalization. Not always. You have very spiritual religious people, and you have the spiritual people which are not as high on the ladder. It's a great generalization, but in general, the people who are metaphysicists are much more flexible, much more adaptable, and much more willing to give up their belief systems and the elements of the BOS script if it no longer serves them. So that's essentially the difference between the two. That's the spirituality, which is essentially just a funky word of acknowledging that everything is energy. It's just that some of those people choose to believe that energy is consciousness. Whether it's true or not, we're not going to go into it quite yet. We're going to get there. Remember, it's all a belief system. If it serves you, God bless you, take it. If not, just keep on scrolling from the infinite supermarket of ideas, memes, tropes, whatever works for you. But that's essentially 3 BOS scripts, and we explained why it's so important to pay attention to them. Now, you don't have to change your BOS script, but you can modify your BOS script if you wish, and there will be human beings on this planet. They will go through all 3 BOS scripts within their lifetimes. Also, so once again, no BOS script is more important. We're going to treat them just like belief systems. We don't assign value to them. We don't say this BOS script is better than the others, even though people have the cognitive bias and they say, yeah, my belief systems are more valid than your belief systems, which I'm not going to say it's wrong, because that's judgmentalism in and of itself. I'm saying that if you do have such rigid belief systems, you have a challenge with aligning yourself with the people who do not share your belief systems. So this is why adaptability and flexibility come back again, because when it comes to developing your team and then developing your audiences and then addressing your market, so to speak, there will be so many people who do not believe in your belief systems, who don't align with your BOS scripts. So my pitch to you is entertain the notion that you can be flexible, you can be adaptable, and as you learn and as you grow as a human being or as a consciousness or as a soul, however you wish to frame it, however you wish to perceive yourself, and as you get higher and higher closer to what the humanists will call super consciousness, the metaphysicists will call it higher self, the religious people will call it the guardian angel or the Holy Spirit or the Krishna spirit or the Buddha consciousness or the Christ consciousness or whatever other framework you wish to go. As you're getting higher and higher to that genius potentiality, you will find yourself at some stage that you are once again in such a state of non-judgmentalism and such a state of all-encompassing love towards other belief systems and other human beings that hold those belief systems, that you'll be able to find the situations in which all those belief systems collapse into one. I'll give you one specific example. The quantum physicists, by the way, quantum physics is the branch of one of my favorite religions on the planet Earth. The quantum physicists will tell you that the distances between proton and electron, which are two, technically they compose the atoms, aka the smallest, universally accepted by most of humanity, the smallest building blocks of physical reality. The distances between proton and electron are so vast, and they are the smallest, so there's nothing in between. That means that the implication of that belief system is that 99% of the entirety of atom, 99.99%, is empty. There's nothing there. There's nothing, because they are the smallest particles, so there's nothing in between, and yet it exists. Your hand is built of atoms, and yet if the atoms are 99.99% empty, then your hand is, and your body and the body of planet Earth and the entire galaxy is empty, and yet it feels so solid. Maybe it's just your perception, maybe it's just your belief system, maybe that's the matrix, maybe it's your consciousness that makes your hand solid. So this is something to consider, that in these belief systems, which quantum physicists will just tell you, no, this is a fact of life, this is not a belief system, this is objective physical reality, whether you choose to believe it or not. It's just like gravity, it's there, it exists. That belief systems actually has been echoed by many traditions in Southeast Asia and Far East Asia for thousands of years. They were talking about shunya, the emptiness. And the metaphysicists will tell you the same thing, that all of it is consciousness, it's just a perception, none of it is objectively real. Your consciousness makes it solid, that's why it feels solid. That's how powerful you are. That's how powerful you are as a human being, as a soul, as a super consciousness, slash however you wish to perceive yourself, whatever your BOS scripts allow you to perceive yourself as. So, but in this this particular example, we have collapsed all three BOS scripts into one. This is what happens when you go higher and higher on the consciousness ladder. You become more and more encompassing and more inclusive to all belief systems and all humans and all sentient beings by and large. And I'm telling you that such a journey is the most conducive for you to getting wherever you are, wherever you want to be, and whatever it is at the apex of that pyramid, whatever is your definition of that golden chalice, that incredible abundance, that supreme life that you are deserving, that if you are the most inclusive slash aligning, the second index, the trust index, if you are the most cohesive, if you have the greatest probability of connecting with the people, you will get there fastest. And remember, it's not how it happened, it's whom else is coming with us. That's what's most important. So going back, the BOS script is super important and it is sacred. You don't need to change anything. If you feel uncomfortable, you will go as fast or as slow as you wish, but you can allow yourself to entertain the possibility that you can change it should you wish to need to do so. You can change BOS scripts, you can change belief systems, and you can change the people. And the belief systems and the people will be predetermined by your BOS script. Is you will choose the people who are reflective of your belief systems, of your BOS scripts, of your values. We'll discuss values in the next video. These are the people who you will naturally gravitate towards because it's a human nature. We love the people who are reflective of us in terms of belief systems, our most deepest belief systems, aka the BOS scripts, and also our values and behavioral patterns. We just like people who are reflection of us. That's just how we work as the human beings. So this is important because your BOS script will predetermine who's going to be on your team and which part of the audience, which part of the market, if you will indulge me that dehumanizing term again, which part of the humanity you will connect with first. So this is super important. But for the time being, if you are ready, I would like you to invite you to the possibility that just as you can change your belief systems, that just like you can download different apps, you can change the operating software too. Only because you've been using Windows 98, maybe you want to use Windows 11 at some stage, maybe you just want to switch to iOS at some stage. It's up to you. It's your game of life. It's not good or bad. It's not true or false. Is it getting me closer or is it getting me further away from my goal? That's all it is. So this is why the BOS scripts are so important. Please consider the possibility of being able to change them if you wish. That's your game of life. God bless you, whatever it is. However, there's a tiny pitch that I'm going to add to it. I'm going to give you a little bit of a motivation because you see, I'm going to share with you a secret that is very seldom shared by the human beings who have. And by the way, I'm not dissing those human beings. I love those human beings, but we've touched upon that in a sixth lesson where we're talking about the dismantling of the negative belief systems, that you have those prosperity gurus and financial advisors, and you have those life coaches and the greatest guys in the industry, guys and girls in the industry. I'm not going to give you names. My trust index is super important to me. Confidentiality is super important to me. Many of those people have helped change my life. I've got nothing but love and light for each and every one of them. However, their business model is like we were discussing, that they are identifying the pain point, aka the negative belief systems, and they provide the service of dismantling those belief systems. And then you've seen it many times. Maybe you've even been into those wonderful seminars, and sometimes there are hundreds, sometimes there are tens of thousands of people there. It's a great event and it's a wonderful event. God bless you guys all. If that's what you need, go for it. But essentially you've got thousands of people, yeah, they all get hyped up. Yeah, I'm gonna do it, man. I'm making it. I'm taking it to the next level. And then what happens? Then what happens is the same thing that happens when you have the people who have made the New Year's resolution that, oh, I'm gonna go to the gym. After 3 months, 90% of the people on average in the Western world, particularly in Britain and in the United States, 3 months, 90% of those people will neg out, the industry term, when you go from the positive belief systems, aka the love-based consciousness, the high happiness index, to the low happiness index. We'll be talking about regaining attitude in the future videos. But they neg out. After 3 months, they just give up. And the same thing with those great guys who are like, oh, get hyped up. 90% of them never make it. They change it for 1, 2, 3 months and then they stop. Why? The size and the symmetry of your why? Yes, it's about people. They're not with the right people. We are social beings. You cannot do it yourself. Guys, I keep on telling you, it's not about you, it's not about us, it's about the totality of humanity. If you would have gone to the gym with the right people, if you would have gone to that seminar with the right people, the results would be so much different. But essentially, the 90% of people fail not because there's something wrong with those prosperity gurus. They have great amounts of information and knowledge. But the secret behind the secret of the so much failure, I don't regard it as a failure. I just regard it for the not yet. I'm not ready to change my life yet. In my definitions, in my dictionary, there's no such thing as failure. There's only wave function of energy, and there's always going upwards. If you choose to go upwards, that's up to you, but you will always learn. So there's no such thing as failure in my dictionary. But essentially, those people were not ready yet, because this is the secret behind the failure. And most of the people are we are social beings. We choose the people who are a reflection of us. This is just natural. That's why you have the working class people hanging out with working class people, middle class with the middle class, upper middle class with the upper middle, the rich with the rich, and super rich with the super rich. There's nothing wrong with that. No group of people, no interest groups, no socioeconomic demographic is better than the other. No human being is better than the other. Only because you have more digits on your bank account doesn't make you more or less. However, this is how we are constructed. We are the together beings. We are social beings. If you are a humanist, you will call us social animals. God bless you. It's your definition. It's your game of life. But this is how it works. This is why the people are the foundational basis of everything you're gonna do in your life. And this is why most of the people fail. Because when you go to your peer group, you go to your family, you go to your friends, and hey man, I'm doing it. I'm finally started my YouTube channel. And I found that incredible channel, The Game of Life, bro. The best channel on YouTube. And it's really, it really gets me hyped up, man. I'm making it. And then they'll be like, yeah, well, whatever, bro. You see, this is how people are. That you've heard that meme, that the meme of the basket, that in Southeast Asia the people have they go hunting for crabs and you have to go as a team. Once again, the same synchronicity, the same meme. You have to go as a team. Why? Because if you put only a few crabs in that basket, they will run away. They will just run away from your enterprise, whatever you want to do with them, guys. But if you go as a group, if you throw sufficient amount of critical mass, then those ones who try to go out will be dragged down. Now, if they would be more sentient, they would realize that, oh my God, they're just trying to, they infringing on our freedom index. Let's do something. Let's help each other. I'm going to get to the edge and I'm going to let you guys out. That would be different if people would be, if the crabs would be consciously collaborating and if people would be consciously collaborating, but they're not, because they choose not to. Not because there's something wrong with people. Maybe there's something that could be changed with the BOS scripts, with their belief systems, and with the people with their BOS scripts and their belief systems. So this is the mathematical function, guys, that unfortunately most of the people do not reach their goals. And I'm ever so sorry that I'm telling you the truth. I'm not like those guys who promise you pie in the sky. I'm just being real with you. 80% of humans around the globe, if you utilize AI, if you utilize the social media, if you take advantage of the fact that over 4.2 billion of humans have access to you vis-a-vis their smartphones, I promise you, 80% of you, regardless of your biology or geography, as long as you're consistent, as long as you keep going, no matter what life throws at you, and as long as you connect with the right people, and as long as you max out your KPIs, you will make your first million in 6 years or sooner. I mean, God, but I don't need to convince you that. Come on, there are guys and girls on Twitch at the age of 15 who became millionaires by following the highest excitement, playing video games and then broadcasting it to other teenagers. So it's not like I'm saying you something out of ordinary. It's just that how can you transfer your passion, your skill set, your proclivities, your energy of love and connect with your fellow human beings which need you right now? How can you translate that into making money? And the very first step is that, just like we've used that meme, that in order to have things that you've never had, you must be prepared to do things that you've never done. And unfortunately, part of that is, I know it sounds harsh, but sometimes The people who are on your team at this moment in time, they are no longer conducive with your journey that you are about to embark upon. I'm ever so sorry that I'm that guy that needs to tell you that. And I'm not saying that you should leave them behind. Most of the people won't. Most of the people are very comfortable with where they are. They love to complain. They love to blame someone else. They love to blame banks or large corporations or the government or the particular political affiliations. They love to point the fingers at, but there's that very old English meme. Whenever you point a fingers at, three fingers point at you. You didn't want to change. You didn't want to look at your BOS script. You didn't want to download the new apps from the free market of ideas. You didn't want to connect with the right people because you're comfortable where you are. And God bless you. But let me tell you this. How do you serve your fellow human beings, your peers, your families, your friends, the people who, hey, sometimes maybe they look up to you? How do you serve them the best? By reinforcing their preconceived notion, their cognitive biases, or saying that, no, actually, you know what, guys, we deserve more. We have an opportunity for the first time on the planet Earth when you can literally generate incredible, enormous amount of wealth, and you can do it sustainably, responsibly, in alignment with the needs of the planet and its billions of beings, not just human beings. You can do it within 6 years and you can have a blast of a lifetime. You can follow your heart's excitement. You can max out your happiness. And why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you do that? Isn't that the best way you can serve them? Don't give them a fish. Don't give them a fishing pole. Inspire them to build a fishing academy. So sometimes the best thing, the most loving human being can do is to decide that, guys, I'm doing my thing. I love you all, but I need to go. I just need to go. When I'm in the flow, when I'm in the workflow, I'll be away for 10, 12, 13 hours and I'm not going to answer your calls. I don't care. I don't care that whether the Strait of Hormuz is open or not. I don't care if that particular academy has crashed or not. None of it matters. I'm following my highest excitement. I'm following my dreams. I'm having a blast of my lifetime. I just need to be left alone for the time being, and I'll reconnect with you guys on a case-by-case basis, depending on who's gonna go with me to the apex of that pyramid. And then when you start manifesting it, you know what? They will come searching for you because you become that beacon that if you did it, they could do it too. They can change. And this is the essence of enlightened entrepreneurship. You don't change people. You love people exactly the way they are, but you love yourself and your character arc too. And in order to finalize and realize and manifest it in the most artistic and original fashion, you must follow your highest excitement and give the best to the entirety of humanity. And once you do that, you become a beacon and inspiration for everyone, not just your peer group. And some of them will follow you, some of them won't. But that's the greatest way of service to others. When you inspire or other human beings to follow their highest excitement and get to the very apex of their expression, physically, mentally, spiritually, socially, and financially. Yes, you can do it. You always could have done it, but for whatever reasons, maybe it was your BOS script, maybe it was your belief system, maybe it was the people that you are hanging out with at this moment in time, whatever it was, we send them love, we send them gratitude, we send them appreciation. On this channel, we are not doing limiting belief systems or judgmentalism. We are all inclusive, but we're telling the truth. That's, remember, the integrity / the trust index. When you love someone dearly, you tell them the truth, and the truth is that you always could have done it, but most of you beloved ones for different reasons decided not to. So please, if you want to take it out to me, I'm unconditional. I'm infinite love. I love you guys. You guys are my spiritual family. You are not my audience. You are not my market. I can take it. But I would rather you know the truth, that your BOS script will predetermine your belief systems and your people. So choose wisely. It's your game of life. Live it to the fullest if you wish. God bless you. All the best. Mwah, mwah, mwah.